I was thinking to myself, man, we're about to see an insane pump in the price of XRP when this happens, right? We're waiting for one thing though. I'll come back to this in a minute. Let me just show you this, right? This is what we're waiting for. So the government is shut down at the moment in the United States with these little bits of governmental political propaganda in both directions, by the way. Shout out to the Americans who are going to come emotional in my comment section about me being wrong. That's fine. So look at this list, man. That's insane. Shout out to the United States. I see you guys have democracy and free speech and all sort of crazy things that hopefully we get here at some point in the future. So government is shut down, and I'm sure in the back there's negotiations going on. Cooler heads are prevailing behind doors. Yeah, some of them should be behind bars. But when they sort this out, we can move on to legislation, regulations, and news, and we can get on with the ETFs, right? And if you look on social media, right, you see, and you type in Ripple Bank or Bank of Ripple or whatever, you will see hundreds of posts, right, per minute about this stuff, right? You would also see a lot of accounts have been set up by people who are hoping that this is going to happen. And Bank of Ripple, I mean, this person's probably set this up in order to get followers, whatever, maybe sell the account afterwards, or do some sort of phishing attacks or whatever on people. Who knows why people set these things up? Ripple Bank, Bank of Ripple. And then you get people talking about how, this was in July, by the way. Breaking news, Ripple to set up a bank, and they put the date as November 29, 2025. So obviously they didn't know that the government was going to shut down. I don't know how much delay that's added to, the original plan. But $144 trillion market open to Ripple when this happens, right? And a lot of people talking about it, including the great David Schwartz himself, right? There's a lot of buzz about Ripple Bank, Ripple Bank, Ripple Bank. So it's highly expected. And that's our great British friend, Mr. Lewis there. Can I just say, your videos, bro, they're looking more AI-like, man. They're too perfect. So I'm always wondering, like, is that a green screen or are you actually in paradise, bro? You need to chill with the graphics, man. Anyway, lots of buzz about this. So this is something that is waiting to happen. Got me thinking that when Ripple achieves this whole sort of top-down plan that they're doing, right? So now they are a bank. They've got, their own currency, which is a stablecoin, which is effectively their own dollar that they control. They've got their own cryptocurrency in the back. Well, it's not their cryptocurrencies, but, they have a good chunk of it, of XRP, which is supposedly this decentralized token that everyone has access to. They've got the greatest blockchain in the world, which is Chainlink. Oh, dear. Which is XRP, right? So they've got that. They've got the connections across the world. They've got the New World Order people on their board. They've got absolute world domination. They've put 666 on everyone's foreheads. Now, what is stopping Ripple from just directly selling ETFs themselves? Apart from maybe this Annalisa Torres thing that was a problem for them. Perhaps this is why they fought so hard to have Annalisa Torres edit that injunction, right? To adapt it, to remove that language from it. Perhaps now that they found other ways of getting around that when it comes to selling XRP directly, perhaps selling an ETF isn't the same, or ETFs by default anyway are securities, I guess. And once they're registered, there's nothing wrong with selling securities, by the way. It's only illegal when you sell unregistered securities. So really all they have to do is register the securities. And if they're already a bank, doesn't that just come with the territory? So what's really stopping Ripple or Ripple Bank in the future from just selling XRP ETFs directly, and as an extension, not just XRP ETFs, but all manner of derivatives of XRP synthetics, XRP real world assets, tokenizations? Why wouldn't that bank just be able to sell directly? Also, remember that Ripple has also formed collaborations with multiple bank-like organizations and financial organizations that already have said licenses to do things like this. So we might not have to wait for the likes of BlackRock or Fidelity or JP Morgan to come in with their liquidity to buying into the whole XRP thing. Ripple might just, if you look at what's happening with Swift, right? How we originally thought that Swift was going to be, XRP and XRP payments, Ripple payments, XRP ledger, etc. You know what I mean? Was going after the infrastructure layer of payments, and that Swift was simply going to incorporate XRP or Ripple payments into their system. Now we know that, Ripple is after even the liquidity layer of Swift. So who's to say that Ripple's grand plan isn't looking to take over all of that sort of stuff in the first place? Why not go after BlackRock? Why not go after JP Morgan itself? Could this be something that they're also aware of? And why we've had this massive resistance to XRP, and it's been treated specially compared to some of the other tokens, like Bitcoin, whatever. And why all of a sudden everyone's coming out to accuse Ripple of being the Antichrist, effectively. New World Order, global financial takeover, blah, blah, blah. Because what's to stop them once they get the banking license in the United States? What's to stop them from, expanding to other countries as a bank as well? And then not needing some of these other organizations anymore. So they have their own network, their own system, their own token, their own this, their own that. No need for anybody else. I mean, am I missing something? In the meantime, you, the civilian, the ordinary dude, where do you guys work? McDonald's, wherever. You managed to pick yourself a bunch of XRPs on the ground while you were walking to work, found some XRP tokens, you picked it up, put it in your pocket, was like, oh, what's this stuff? Shined it off, put it away, and all of a sudden it's worth $1 million each. That's pretty much what looks like is about to happen. So, man, the government better hurry up and do their thing, okay? Come to a resolution, maybe lift the debt ceiling and borrow even more money, get into more problems, or find a way to reduce the debt, man, and reduce the spending. Either way, that's up to you. That's above my pay grade, probably also above my, cognitive functioning. Shout out to the people who have to make these decisions. They're not easy decisions. We're, here criticizing them, but these decisions are not very easy. And especially, in this world that we live in now with such polarization in beliefs and political opinions and stuff. So shout out to people who have to go to work every day and deal with this stuff. But man, Ripple is about to unleash some stuff, man. And when that happens, we are going to be here to collect the monies. Not financial advice. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.